Yeah, and I'm gonna totally put myself out there and be embarrassed for a second because I didn't understand what IWBC was until much later. I had gone to several and didn't really embrace what it was about, um, and I'm not sure why. I'm not 100% sure why I didn't like just soak it all in. Um, and it's embarrassing that I took that long to figure it out. But so Laura, of course, was huge, and there were different people in and out of the trombone section, and like Natalie Mannix was one of them, and she complimented me once, which blew my mind. I'm not a bass trombonist, and I was very self conscious. One of the gigs we did, I was very self conscious. I'm not really sure what was going on at that point, but I was like, oh my gosh, I'm terrible. And she's like, you belong here. I was like, oh, okay. And seriously, just something that simple can make a difference. Talking to Anita Cockerhun, I mean, I used her as a resource and as a mentor for many years outside of Athena and outside of IWBC, being both of us in Ohio, leading Ohio brass bands. She was a wonderful resource, and I learned a lot from her. Going into further on, like as we would do more gigs, like I remember 2014, I had a very short, brief run-in with Susan Slaughter, which again, like blew my mind. And it was a compliment and then a question that I was like, oh, I hadn't thought of that. And, Susan has that way of asking something that makes you really think. But then moving into 2015, I had this crazy opportunity to play with Monarch Brass here in Columbus for ITG. And I got to know Ginger Turner a little bit. But then the very following month in June, Ginger played with Athena Brass Band at Gettysburg Brass Band Festival. And so I got to know her a lot more. And she's, again, she wants to know, she wants to look into what's going on. And so she asked me a lot of questions. And at one point, like I kind of gave her my life up to that point, and professional and otherwise. And, and I will never forget this moment. But Ginger stopped. She's like, so you've got all these things going on. What the heck are you doing with your life? And I was like, I don't know. And it was just a moment of figure this out. Why aren't you thinking deeper? Why aren't you thinking bigger? And it was when like pretty much that experience that made me say Athena can be bigger. This could be a stronger, bigger thing. And with her asking me those probing questions and giving me some opportunities, Joanna Hersey, I mean, like Joanna, oh, you just learn so much just from being around her, I think if you are wise, you will learn something from everybody you encounter.